Bienvenidos, Ushamdi, and welcome CTS-131, Section 875 students to the Spring 2018 semester at Anne Arundel Community College. We're certainly wrapping down here with about 2.5 weeks to go. This is going to be a packet tracer tutorial on our chapter skills number 6 activity, and it's going to be focusing on DHCP. So let's go ahead and dive in here and take a look at our topology. So we've got a printer, a server, a single switch, some PCs, and a DHCP router. Now, we're going to enable a DHCP on the router for the PCs to acquire an IP address automatically. We're going to verify connectivity. We're going to exclude some addresses. And it looks like we're dealing with a single broadcast domain here. So let's go ahead and see where we're at. So spanning tree, is in the forwarding state for all of our devices here. Let's go part 1, exclude addresses. So let's jump onto the router. This is going to be our DHCP router. And let me stretch this out here. We'll come to the CLI, and we're in user exec mode as evidenced by that greater than sign. We'll type enable or EN to get to privilege exec. And let's just do a quick show IP interface brief. We'll do some recon here, and we'll see that the fast Ethernet interface is up, and that is the only interface configured on the router. So I'm going to transition to global config with a configure terminal command. Now we're going to be excluding, and I'm squinting here, exclude the first 3 usable addresses. So we're going to say IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.1.1, 1.1 to 192.168.1.3. And that prevents the router interface, server, and printer IP addresses from being assigned by DHCP to the PCs. Notice hovering over these static devices, their addresses have been configured. All right, so let's check it out here. If I hover over the server, and again, my virtual machine is really slow, so we may not be seeing that. I may have to click on it, go to config, and let's see, fast Ethernet 0, and see that, yeah, that's .3. We'll come to the server and go to desktop config, and yes, that's .2. And we already saw that we are .1. So we're going to exclude those 3 addresses. It says that's 3 points. Now let's create our DHCP pool. The name is going to be LAN-pool. So IP DHCP pool, and let's say LAN-pool. So it says use the appropriate command for the network 192.168.1. Well, let's do a question mark here, right? The question mark can help you out immensely when you're doing configuration tasks, especially in Packet Tracer. So we know we need a default router, right? And we know that that's going to be the interface on the router, right? The DHCP router to get us to a layer 3 device, 192.168.1.1. DNS server does not appear to be in play here. And I'm reading through, and then it's going to be literally the network, I think, is the last thing we need. So 192.168.1.0 and 255.255.0, because we're dealing with a /24. So the first 24 bits, or the first 3 octets, are going to be 255, 255, 255. All right. So that takes care of that piece. And now let's go ahead and use or get onto each of the PCs here. I'm sorry, I'm reading this as we're kind of walking through it. And we're going to see. So PC 0, does it get .4? It does. Fantastic. And you'll notice we don't have the default gateway. Now there's a note here. It says if the default gateway does not populate, wait 1 minute and then toggle between static and DHCP a few more times. It's a known bug in Packet Tracer. Okay, so we're seeing that known bug here, no default gateway, but that's okay. And again, there's no default gateway, but do we need a default gateway in this network? Yeah, the answer is no, because we are a single VLAN, we're a single broadcast domain, we're a single subnet. So there is no inter-VLAN routing that's taking place here, so I don't technically need the default gateway, but we're going to make it happen anyway. We'll come to DHCP, should be .5. It is, no default gateway. PC2, come over here, DHCP should be .6, and it is, no default gateway, and PC3, .7, and it is. So I should be able to come to the router, and let's go in, and let's give ourselves a little more room with which to work here. And we're going to say, write mem to save things just in case. How about a show IP DHCP binding? And there it is, right? There are the 4 PCs, .4 through .7. I've got their MAC addresses listed out. So now let's come back and let's see if we can sort this out here. Let's click to static and then click back to DHCP. And does that do it? It does. So now we've got the default gateway. Can I ping my default gateway? And again, I would have been able to ping it, and I'll do this on PC1. I would have been able to ping 192.168.1.1 irrespective of whether or not that default gateway had populated. Remember, this is all one VLAN. If I get on the switch, can we get on the switch? Yep, I can get on the switch. If I get on the switch and I say, show VLAN, and actually let's do show VLAN brief, everybody's in VLAN 1. Right, so everybody's in the same VLAN, is in the same subnet, is in the same broadcast domain. So on PC1, where there is no default gateway, can I ping my default gateway? 192.168.1.1. Absolutely. It's in the same broadcast domain. The reason I need that default gateway is if I was going to say this, ping 192.168.99.132. Right? And if there was a route on the router to get to that network, then I would need my default gateway. And I'm not sure why I hit return there, but because it doesn't exist. So we'll come back over here. I'll go static, DHCP. All right, it didn't work on this guy. How about static, DHCP? No, he doesn't like it. All right. I'm confident here that we've got the point so that you get the idea as to what it is we're trying to do. All right, it worked on PC2. Let's try PC3. And maybe what it didn't like on 2 was that I pinged the default gateway first. And no, because PC3 doesn't like it either. So go static, back to DHCP. All right, let's check our results. Let's see what the scoring engine tells us here. And yeah, we're definitely 3 out of 3, or what's the point? 15 out of 15? Score 15 out of 15. All right. So we've got all 15 points, right? So we're good to go on this activity. Again, not our fault that the default gateway didn't populate. It should populate. It was properly configured. And it worked on PC0 and PC1, I think, or PC2, and then not on 1 and not on 3. All right. Well, again, nice, easy activity to get us into configuring DHCP and the commands that we need to make that happen. So this is going to do it for chapter skills number 6 from chapter number 8. All right, guys, good luck on this activity. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk with you soon.